capacitors. We have 4 electrolytic capacitors that we need to install and 2 disc capacitors. So you can see C5 is pointed to right there. This one is plain and simple. 4 other electrolytic capacitors. The 4 other electrolytic capacitors are polarized, and by the markings on the board, it has 2 leads going in, and there's a positive and a negative side. So this one is stating it's C6. To get this done right, we are going to look at the instructions on figure B, and it says electrolytic capacitors have polarity. Be sure to mount them to the negative marked lead, marked on the side, in the correct hole. Here is our polarity marking. Our capacitors are black, so these colors are inverted, meaning that this is going to be black and this stripe is going to be white. Our resistors, our capacitors, have a O in the middle. Even though it's a stripe, white stripe, it has an O. It still signifies that this short lead is the negative side. Same thing with most of these devices. The short lead will be the negative side. However, if you cut these when you put them in, or after you put them in and you need to put them in the right way, this stripe still remains. And as a warning, it says if the capacitors are connected with the incorrect polarity, it may heat up and either leak or cause the capacitor to explode.
Here's our capacitor up close. If you read it, you can see that we have specs on the side. It has volts, 25, which is safe because we're a 9-volt system. And then we have ourselves 100 microfarads. The little script U is micro. So farads are quite large. So if we take a look around, we could turn this and we could see, here's our stripe, being that the whole unit is black. We have a white stripe with the negative symbol. So the capacitor that comes with our kit has this type of signature showing that this is the negative side. You can tell it's a blue body with a black stripe. So this is the stripe, and it does have a negative symbol showing that this is the negative side. So if we're going to work with our capacitors and install them, we will check. So right here has C3, 10 microfarads. It has a plus and a minus. You're going to look to make sure that your capacitor has 10 microfarads written on there. This one says 100, so this 100 one is for C6. So we could put this one in, negatives put on a negative side, 2 leads, positive and a positive. We know by the stripe. At this point, we can use the short lead to signify it. So we put this in, and it goes flush. It's a stand up like a barrel. The different ones stand up different. This is this new supply one. It stands up it goes very flush to the base. The one that comes with the kit, this one is a 10 microfarad, so this one could be that one. And it only goes that flush without breaking it. So your capacitors can stick out. They could be a little proud of the board, just like that. And then soldering the bottom is just the same. Okay, so here's our C4 and C5 on our capacitors list. It is right under the resistors, and it is 0.2 microfarads, so it's really small power output in this one. This one is not polarized. You put it in the spots, it does not care which way it goes, but it needs to stand upright to cool off. This one will overheat. Just like all the others, you will take it out and find its location. So on here it's C4. You're going to insert. Either way it could go. Push it right in, and it stands proud, and it needs to stand up to stay cool. Bottom is just the same. Bend it like TV antenna. Solder is the rest. Hershey's Kisses, that's what we're looking for.